Good morning, namaste. Thank you so much for joining. Please practice according to your conditions as always. Remember, the practice is an offering, and just try to think that everything we do, say, and feel is to an extent affecting everybody. So this is a cue to practice with mindfulness, with consciousness, and to not go to the place of pain and suffering and anxiety, because that's what will be felt by all beings. So on that note, let's begin. Sit tall and straight, close the eyes, bring the attention within. Let's begin with the sound of Om 3 times to attract divine attention. At the moment of creation, this divine essence that we call God became part of all living beings everywhere. This divine spark is equally present in all beings throughout the universe. Tune your mind to that supreme divine consciousness that is within and all around us. Om Namah Shivaya mantra. I bow to you in light. May all beings everywhere be happy and free from suffering and enjoy this practice through our senses. May we always have a strong desire for the knowledge that liberates us from pain and suffering, and may we gradually acquire the intellect to attain that knowledge. And may we cherish no ill feelings against each other. only ever peace, love, joy, and compassion. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Let's now do the mantra for purification to purify the space, the grounds, and all the psychic channels within. If you don't know it, just pretend you're chanting through the voice of the Guru, move your lips. You derive all the benefits as though you're chanting imperfectly. Try doing each one in a single breath, and do it with volume and conviction so it can be heard by all beings and all the subtle bodies within and all around us. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smrit Pandrikaksham Sabaya Byantraha Stihi. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smrit Pandrikaksham Sabaya Byantraha Stihi. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smrit Pandrikaksham Sabaya Byantraha Stihi. So now let's do alternate nostril breathing, calming breathing, Anuloma Viloma. The count is 8-6-8. So since the breath retention is so short, no need to apply the throat lock or the root lock. Just bring the attention to the space between the eyebrows. You can contract the anus a little bit if you like. So we breathe in through the left. Just pause for 8. Close both sides of the nose. Close both nostrils for 6. Exhale through the right. Inhale back up through the right. For 8, 6 for the breath retention, and 8 for the exhale. On the inhale, you can imagine the breath moving down towards the base of the spine. On the exhale, you can imagine the breath moving back up. Keep your mind fixed on the movement of the breath to keep the mind one-pointed. Otherwise, the mind might go everywhere. So it's a good technique to just try to train the mind to to concentrate. Left hand Jnana Mudra, the Mudra consciousness on the left knee. You can have the palm facing up or down. Right hand, second and third fingers fold down. This is Vishnu Mudra. When you turn the palm towards you, no longer Vishnu Mudra, but we use this for all the alternate nostril breathing techniques. Always use your right hand, thumb and ring finger only. Touch the nostrils. So breathe out completely. Sit up tall and straight. Close off the right side of the right thumb. Inhale down through the left. 2, 3. Inflate the lungs. Raise the chest. 5, 6, 7, 8. Close the left side. Then open right. Exhale back up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Down. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Close both nostrils. Hold the breath for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale back up. 2, 3 through the left. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Down through the left. Inhale. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Close both nostrils. Hold the breath for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale back up. 3, 4. My hand is just gesturing the movement of the breath. 7, 8. Down through the inhale through the right. 3, 4. You can keep your hand on the left knee. 6, 7, 8. Close both nostrils. Hold the breath for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale back up through the left. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Down. Inhale left. Keep following the movement of the breath with your mind. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Close both sides. Hold for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale up through the right. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Down through the right. Inhale. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Close the right. Open left. Exhale back up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Down through the left. Mentally count to 8. Close left, open right. Exhale, back up for 8. Sorry, forgot the breath retention. Down through the right, inhale. Close both nostrils, exhale through the left. We'll start again with the breath retention. Inhale down for 8 through the left. Close for 6. Exhale through the right. Back up. Down through the right. Close both nostrils, hold. Exhale, left, back up. Down, left. Inhale. Hold the breath, both nostrils closed. Exhale to the right, back up. Down to the right. Close both nostrils. Exhale up through the left. This is a good technique for removing cravings, keep the mind in, or bring the mind to calm state. Down through the left. Close both nostrils, hold. Exhale out through the right, back up. Down through the right. Close for 6, both nostrils. Exhale through the left, back up. One more, inhale down left. Fill up the lungs, raise the chest. Close both nostrils, hold. Exhale out to the right, back up. Down to the right, inhale. Close both nostrils, hold. Exhale left, back up. The right hand back down. Take a moment to just notice any changes in the state of the body, the mind, and emotions. Have no concern as to what you observe. Have no expectations of what you should observe or should not observe. Be like the witness. Actionless, immutable, infinite, and stainless. And stay in the mindset of the witness throughout the practice. Through this practice of becoming the witness, we eventually lose the identification of the body, the mind, and emotions, none of which are the true reflective of the true self. Momentarily, we will begin the asana practice. The purpose of asana is to experience all forms, to cultivate compassion by seeing ourselves and seeing God in all the forms. For this is how God manifests in this physical universe, through the forms. Revere and love each and every one. And be grateful for all experience, the knowledge that we gain through these experiences of seeing the world through other eyes other than our own. So now let's begin the asana practice. We'll begin with some warm-ups. Let's prepare the body for the practice Move the joints with vigor, move with enthusiasm, so that the guru within can get a sense of enthusiasm and is more willing, more apt to share the knowledge with you. To enthusiastic students, hands on the hips, start to circle the head. Think of this practice as an offering to the guru within, the inner teacher. Go in the opposite sense now. Try to get your ears to the shoulders, the chin to the chest, the back of the head to the top of the back. Shake out the wrist, move the fingers very, very rapidly from side to side, like you're trying to shake water off your hands to dry them. And up and down like the wings of a hummingbird, extremely fast, so that the fingertips disappear. They're like a blur. Little circles, however you want to move them. Shake, feel all the joints and wrists and the fingers. Now arms by sides of the body, continue to shake, the head flying in all directions. The arms hitting the body like heavy ropes. Good. And then conclude. Bring the arms up over the head, take hold of the opposite elbows, bend to the left. Go to the right. Bounce each on each side 3 times. Go to the left again. Pull on the elbows and to the right. Try not to make folds in the waist. And the inside of the body, left. And then right. Come back to the center. Little circles over the head. Mostly the head, neck, and shoulders moving at first. But then gradually the circle size increases. Bring the chest and upper back into the movement now. And if you have to do so, the whole torso spins, tracing circles in front of the body like the arms of a windmill. Coming all the way back up and go the opposite direction now. Start small and then gradually increase the size. Again, moving according to your condition. Imagine all beings are experiencing this through you. Larger circles now. Feeling it in the side body, the waist. And then we finish perhaps with the full circle of the trunk. Use momentum of the down swing to carry you through the circle swiftly and smoothly. And then coming all the way back up. Now bring the elbows in front of the shoulders. Open up the feet a little bit more, edge the feet in line with your edges of the mat, and turn from side to side. Do Kapalabhati if you like. As you're doing it, the exhale happens as you complete the twist on each side. Try to see all the way around you. The inhale, don't worry about it. It's passive. It happens in the center. And come back to the center. Now arms by sides of the body, Zulu jumping. If you have knee or ankle issues, you can just lift your heels and bounce off the roots of your toes. But if you can, jump nice and high. Be like a child, you'll always be content. And then conclude. Now arms out to the side. Feel free to bring your left hand to a wall. Right leg swings back and forth. Watch your toes, flex your foot. The legs feel like a pendulum swinging out of control. And then the other leg. Try to get your knee to the shoulder, the toes to the back of the head. And then conclude. The feet back together, arms by sides of the body. Inhale, raise your arms and the heels up. 2, 3, push through with your toes. 5, 6, come back down. Try not to allow the heels to drop down heavily. 3, 4, control the descent so it's smooth and quiet. Up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and back down. Move in a way that doesn't agitate the mind or bring it to a state of restlessness. 4, 5, 6. Come up. 2, 3, 4. Engage the core and leg muscles. Push with your toes very hard. And back down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more time. Whatever happens though, just dance with it. Be unconcerned. Stay in the same temperament. Unchanging, unbothered, unjudging. And back down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bring the chin back down on the chest in a gesture of humbleness. And stay in this humble mindset throughout the practice. For the greatest among us is that who acts like the servant, without expectation, without attachment to the results. So now come to the front of the mat. Stay in this mindset throughout the practice. Make every posture an offering. Hands to the heart. Surya Namaskara. Imagine we're all together, physically moving like a school of fish. Raise arms up over the head, arch back. Fold the body down. Bend your knees if you need to bring your hands on the ground. Right foot back. Lower down the knee, drop down to the seat. Come into high plank. Lower the knees. Bring the seat all the way back behind the heels and glide between your arms 3 times. Brush your nose, grounds coming forward. Raise the head. Take the head all the way back. Again, take the seat back. Glide forward. Turn the fingers out a little bit. Push the elbows towards the sides of the body. And then come all the way up and back. One more time. Take the seat back. Come forward. Glide like a snake creeping through the grass. And coil majestically like the serpent. Imitate its form, its movements. Into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lift the seat. Allow the head to come down below the arms. The right foot comes forward to the hands. If that's a difficult transition, you can lower the left knee down and use the right hand to push the foot forward if it doesn't make it all the way forward. The feet come together, chest on the thighs, head down. Come right up to standing arch back and come back home. Engage the buttocks and upper back muscles as you go back. Forward fold. Head close to the feet, body on your thighs, left foot goes back. Into the plank, down with the knees, and the seat goes back. 3 times again, we glide forward. Try to imagine having a boundless range of motion like the serpent. Put yourself in the body of what you're representing. Take the seat back. Try to embody all their qualities. Be regal and wise, fierce and fearless. One more time, take the seat back. For 3 times breaths of those can imitate the forms on all levels, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lift the seat if you're flexible. See if you can get your forehead right down to the ground. And the left foot comes forward to the hands. Feet together, Uttanasana. Try to get your chest below the knees. Try to get your seat in line with your heels without detaching your body from the thighs. Now come back up. Reach up and back. And then come back home. Don't worry about the breath. Just move the body in a way that allows the breath to remain steady and uniform. Uttanasana. Right foot back. Into plank. Knees, chest, and forehead down this time. Chest between your hands. Come forward. Push into your hands. See if you can lift your hips and knees away from the ground. Charge your legs. Bend the toes under. Stay here for a moment. Imagine you had a hinge at the tops of your legs. And then bend back. Push the chest up. Lower back in. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Bounce here as well. Belly comes towards the thighs, chest towards the ground. If you're flexible, again, the forehead, maybe the nose and the chin come down. Make like a dog stretching its back. Now the right foot comes forward to the hands. Feet together, Uttanasana. Right up and back. Pranayama. Keep going. Keep moving forward in every sense, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Left foot goes back into high plank. Have a strong desire again for liberation from pain and suffering. Knees, chest, and forehead down. Come right through into upward facing dog. In order to do this, you have to be in adherence to the ethical rules. Again, pulse here. Look like a dog howling at the moon. See it in your mind. Try to realize it with your body, what you see. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Try to keep your arms straight, but try to think your heart soften along the back. And be loyal like the dog to its master. Be loyal to your practice. and serving others through the practice. And now the left foot comes forward. Uttanasana. Come back up. And back home. Pranayama. Reach up and back. Stretch the whole front of the body. Fold the body down. Right foot back. Into the plank. Down we go. Knees, chest, forehead down. Right through into upward facing dog. And then Adho Mukha Svanasana. This time raise the right leg up. Lift the left heel as well. See if you can get your head to the ground. Push the right foot up even higher and see if you can drop your left heel back down towards or maybe right on the ground. Try not to open up the right hip. Keep the right hip looking down. And now pick up the head, look between your hands, shoulders over the fingertips, the foot lands between your hands softly. Drop down to the seat, Anjalyasana, and then Uttanasana. Pull the body against the legs, try to get your seat again and lift your heels. Right up to standing, reach up and back. Go according to your condition as always, hands to the heart. Infuse all the movements with love and devotion. Always move, always act at a place of compassion and love. Left foot goes back into the high plank. Knees, chest, and forehead down. Right through into upward facing dog. Then Adho Mukha Svanasana. Raise the left leg up this time. As high as you can, lift the right heel so you can get your top of the head to the ground and push the right heel back down. Raise the left foot up even higher without, again, opening up the hip. A gesture of humility here with the eyes downcast, the head down low. And then the left foot comes forward to the hands. Looking up. Good. Open yourself up to divine grace with your heart wide open in every sense. Physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Uttanasana. Come right up to standing. Reach up and back. Hands back to the heart. Every posture tells a story. Every posture has a particular consciousness. Tap into it. Reach up and back this time. Bend your knees, belly on your thighs. Push your seat all the way up. Your hands come over your shoulders. Try to get your legs straight again. Whole body against the front of the legs. The right foot goes back. Back knee down, Kapiyasana. Reach up and pull the arms all the way back. Try to get your fingers over the back toes. And come back into high plank. You can do, if you like, Chaturanga. Come down in one line from the heels to the top of the head, hovering above the ground about an inch. Press into your hands, upward facing dog. Again, according to your joints and your flexibility and your strength. Adho Mukha Svanasana. The right leg comes up and bring the foot between your hands. Back knee down. Kapiyasana again. Radiate your life from within. This is monkey pose. Imagine a monkey swinging from tree to tree. They have seemingly no bones in their arms. Try to get that nice openness in your shoulders. Good. Now come forward. Swing your hands behind the back. Hold the breath. So you can get your left foot to meet the right foot without making a sound. Come right up to standing. Reach up and back. Arch the back. And then come back home. Keep on going. Reach up. Hinge at the hips. Try to transition seamlessly through the forearms, between the forearms, like you're doing a divine dance of devotion. Left foot back into Kapiyasana. Keep your seat low so you keep your balance as your arms go back. Open up your heart and your gaze to the sky. And then come back into high plank. Every posture, again, reflecting devotion and love. Down again in Chaturanga or any other entry, Ashtanga Namaskara, perhaps into upward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left leg goes up. Wherever you are in your practice is perfect. It's where you're meant to be. At some point we'll get to experience all forms, so don't worry. Drop your seat forward, go as far as you can in this lifetime so you pick up in the next life where you left off. Go to the highest place you can. And then swing your hands behind the back without touching face to the ground if possible. The right foot comes forward to meet the left. Uttanasana. Come right up to standing, reach up and back. And then come back home. Again, reach up, keep always the mind in a meditative state, a calm state. Push the belly into your thighs, hands over your shoulders, right foot back. Keep intent on the act of offering through the postures. Reach up and back into high plank. Another entry you can consider, take your seat back without touching your legs to the ground. Come right through between your arms, pull the elbows to the sides of the body, push through with your toes and the hands into upward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right leg up and bring the right foot between your hands. Back knee down, drop down to the seat, Kapayasana. Drop your shoulders down, open your heart in every sense. Physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Swing your hands behind the back, belly on your thighs, the left foot comes forward to meet the right. Uttanasana. And then come back up. Shift between the forms like a shapeshifter. Silently, fluidly, effortlessly. Go up and back. Reach and go down. Plunge your head towards the earth. Push the body against your legs. If your legs are straight, try to get your whole body, including the forehead, against your legs. Your left foot goes back. Back knee down. Kapayasana. Good. Reach back. And then come back into high plank. Any entry of your choice into upward facing dog. Again, if you have strong shoulders, no shoulder issues, take your seat back, pull the elbows to the sides of the body, and hover above the ground as you come forward without touching your legs and hips to the ground. Upward facing dog. Then Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left leg up and bring the foot between the hands. Always silently. Good. Reach up and back in every sense. When the body moves gracefully and quietly, the mind can come into stillness. Uttanasana more easily. Come up and back. Hasta Uttanasana. And then come back home, hands to the heart. Good. Take a deep breath in here. Hold the breath. Imagine that you're drawing and attracting the love from the heart up to the crown and sending it to all beings everywhere, like the sun that shines down on everything. Exhale back down to the heart. Remain established in divine, unconditional love for all beings everywhere. Release the hands. Good. Let's continue with some postures now. So, balance sequences. Starting off with your left foot, on your left foot, anchor down to the foot, take the right foot up. You can bring in Vrikshasana, so you can bring your foot against the inseam of the thigh, anywhere along the leg, just not against the knee, beside the knee, either above or below, or take your toes, keep your toes on the ground if you have trouble balancing. If you have the flexibility, you can do the lotus, your knee comes up to the shoulder, the foot comes to the top of the left leg, and you point the knee down. Options for the hands, hands to the heart, or up over the head, or go back with your right arm behind your back, use your left hand to guide your hand to the foot, hold it from behind, and come back up, left hand in Jnana Mudra. Stand tall and straight and steady, but if the wind comes around, you have to be able to flex. So stay pliable in your mind, in your body and your mind. Good. Now from here, we're going to come down. If you can keep your leg in your foot in your lotus. If you have a lotus, bring your hand down. If you don't have a lotus, you can just bring your leg like this, like figure 4, and come forward like this, or bring your hands to the ground if you can, and push your seat up. Try to get your hands beside on either side of the foot. If you have your lotus, keep your bind if you can. If you have good balance, you can even bring your left hand to your foot and gaze just beyond your toes. Now for another extra, if you like, those of you who want can bring your hands in front of on either side of the foot, slip your foot out of the lotus. If you have a lotus, just bring it across the top of the thigh, hook your toes around the outside of the left arm, and just push the right knee against the back of the right arm. Lean forward so you can pick your toes up off the ground, your left toes. Maybe flying crow, extend your leg. And back down, and come back up. Release. That was just an option. Okay, so other side. Press down to the right foot. Bring the left knee up. Again, the foot on the inseam of the right leg somewhere, or maybe in your lotus, your knee close to your shoulder, your foot right at the top of the right leg. Lean forward, raise, bring your left arm around the back, Use your right hand if you need to guide your hand to the foot, and come up. You can stay here, or again, if you have the regular tree, you can just do this position. Look up. If you find the balance, push the foot firmly into the inside of the leg. If you have the conventional tree, the toe pads, the base of the toes, and a heel. Now from here, you can either bring your foot out of the tree and across the left thigh. Come forward like so in your chair, or bring your hands going if you can reach, and push your seat up. Try to get your body against your legs like Uttanasana variation. Your nose, your forehead towards your shin. If you have your lotus still, you can keep your bind, fold the body in half. Try to get your right hand on your side or right on your foot. Hold the back of the foot. Next, if you want, hands to the ground. You can see if you can do the crow, the flying crow again. So if you have a lotus, take your foot out of your lotus, your shin across the right leg. Just squeeze the left knee against the back of the left arm, like you're holding a newspaper underneath your arm. Your toe to the the left foot, hook around just right underneath the shoulder. Lean forward, even if you don't bring your foot up off the ground, all good. And so you can take your toes off the ground, hold the breath. If you reach forward with your head, you might be able to get your right leg up. Back down, and then come back up. Charge the body, stand in Tadasana. Inhale, imagine the best of the best coming right up the body, from the base of the spine up to the crown. Exhale, send it everywhere throughout. Send it out to all beings. Feel recharged and rejuvenated. Ballet pose. Stand on your left foot again, right foot. Take it from the inside, the thumb behind the heel. Bring a leg out to the right, toes and fingers in the same line. Maybe it looks like a T, maybe like a letter Y. Lean to your left a little bit. Good. Flex the foot. It helps with balance. Look up if you can. Now see if you can let go of the foot without dropping your leg. So prepare by holding your breath, engage your leg muscles and your core. Let go of the foot slowly. Now keep lowering the right leg. Come right into gliding eagle. Bend your left knee if you need to take your fingers to the ground first, all good. The right foot stays high. Try to keep it above the height of the hip. The head comes about the height of the knee. Arch your back if you can. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Good. Press the shoulders back. Now from here, come all the way back up. Let's go into angel. Arms out to the side. You can bring your right toes to the ground if you're having trouble balancing, or otherwise kick your foot back, chest open, lift your gaze, eventually bring your head back. Be like the messenger of God, always ready to serve. Break the pose. Try it on the other side now. Plant down the right foot. Whatever happens, again, just dance with it. No judgment, no concern, just do your best. That's more important than the result. The left foot comes up high again, wherever the height, whatever your flexibility allows for. If you're having trouble unbending, keeping your legs straight, hold under the knee if you need to, or stand against the wall. Now we're going to let go of the foot again, hold the breath. Engage leg muscles, let go of the foot slowly. If you let go of the foot too fast, it will fall. Now lean to the right. Swing your leg back and up. Bend your right knee. Try to rest your belly on your thigh. The head comes all the way down. Imagine you're gliding eagle, soaring through the air, skimming through the surface of the ocean. You become what you see in your imagination. Cultivate a limitless imagination. Now we're going to get ready to come back up. Press into right foot, hold the breath as you make your transition up into angel. Arms out to the side, about the height of the shoulders. Push your chest forward, and then allow the head to go up and back. Offer yourself up for service. Arch the back. Lift the left foot up higher if you can. And then bring the foot down. Turn the palms forward. Inhale, imagine lights of every color coming into the body from everywhere, up the spine to the crown. Exhale, send it everywhere throughout the body. Radiate your light outwards from within. So one more. Let's come to the back of the mat. Left foot forward, left hand down on the ground. Stay on the fingertips, right leg up, Adho Chandrasana. Turn to the right, bring the right arm up. See if you can look up if you find a balance. Make sure your hand's not too close to the foot. It makes it hard to open up fully. And it's also more difficult for balance. If you need, bring a block underneath your left hand. Now from here, bend your left knee so you can anchor the left foot down. Bring the right knee in towards your belly. Take hold of the leg close to the ankle and push the foot all the way up and back again. It feels like Dhanurasana here. You're stretching the whole front of the body. Try to push the foot away from your seat. You can stay here or look down. So you can take your left hand off the ground. Hold the breath, make it on your heart. Your hip over the heel. If you want, you can even come up, press into your left foot and come up into dancer. If you want, you can take your left hand back there as well. Pull the foot in towards the seat and push it all the way back out again. Exude the magnificence and grace of the dancer. Release. Try it on the other side now. The right foot steps forward, right hand comes down. About 14 or 16 inches in front of the right foot, left leg goes up, and slowly open up to your left. All the movements again done with mindfulness, with deliberateness. Good. Point the toes, keep the fingers together. Now getting ready for Natarajasana. If you like, bend your right knee to anchor the right foot down. Bring your left knee right in, tuck in the knee into the belly. Take hold of the leg close to the ankle and push the foot all the way up and back. Re-straighten out the right leg. Now you can stay here or look forward. Press into right foot. You need to bend your knee a little bit to come up into dancer. You can stay in this form or bring the right hand back to the foot as well. Try to get your toes on the same line as your head. Lift the chest. If you fall, keep trying. Come back. Keep coming up, back into the pose. And then break the pose. Now again, turn the palms forward. Inhale, imagine you're attracting everything you need right into spiritual heart, the residing place of God. Send everything there. Exhale, as God is equally present in all forms. Imagine it going out to all beings everywhere now. Good, so now let's continue with other poses, standing poses. Stand in the middle of the mat, facing on the long edge of the mat. Step or jump your feet apart. Turn to your left, Virabhadrasana. If you have the flexibility, sink a little bit lower. Your knee can go over the toes. Otherwise, try to get to at least your hip in the same line as your knee. Front leg like a right angle. So again, make sure the back arm doesn't drop down. Keep your arms level. If you're right down low, maybe you can touch your fingertips to the ground. Be fierce and strong and courageous like the warrior. From here, Parshvakonasana. Depending where your hip is, your forearm can come onto your left thigh, your right arm over the head. Make sure your hip is not jutting up. Straight line from the foot all the way to the hand. So you have to sink your hip a little bit. If your hip is lower, bring the left hand on the ground. Right hand can even go on behind your back, onto your left thigh, or take the full bind. Left shoulder drops down a little bit, and join your hands just beside your left side of your hip, left hip, not over the seat. If this is too much, lower the right knee down. If you want to still do the bind, you can do it this way. Good. Now from here, drop the right knee down to the ground, hips forward, Kapiyasana, push the lower back up and in, reach back, rock your shoulders back and forth, work the pose a little bit more. Try to get your arms way back, push, try to lift your chest up away from the seat. Curve the back. Imagine your index fingers trying to get them over the back toes. Now from here, bring your hands to the inside of your left foot, move the left foot out to the edge of the mat. Rock back and forth, push through with your toes. Lift your knee up, slide back and forth. Try to feel as though the hips are made of lead, very heavy. Push one more time through the right foot, lower the knee down, flatten out the toes. If your hips are low enough, you can fall to your right on your right forearm, roll back to your left. Make sure your knees staying with your shoulders, so try not to allow this to happen nor this. Keep your both sides of your seat equally close to the ground. If your hips aren't coming down, if your hips are tight, just press into your hands and just think of doing the cobra. Allow your hips to sink. When your hips are anchored down, the rest of the body will eventually follow. The pelvis, the belly, and the chest. Of course, if you're flexible, you can bring your chest right on the ground. If your hips are down, bring your chest down. If you want to take a bend, your left arm can go over your foot, underneath your leg, and join your hands over your seat, over your back actually. Telescope your head and chest forward. Be like a lizard, just not a care in the world, sunning itself on the warm earth. Be still as possible, merge as a form. Now from here, come out of the pose. Push your seat back, in line with your knee, lift the toes up on the left foot, bow to the leg. Belly on your thigh, try to get your center of the chest, your chest beyond your knee. You can hold the foot with your hands. Your right foot can come to your left a little bit for balance. If you're more flexible, you can do Hanumanasana. Your foot, again, in the same line, the right foot in the same line as your knee, and slide forward on your left heel. Sink your hips forward. Pulse. Try not to do it don't do it too hard, too fast. Don't go to a place again of pain or suffering. Be mindful. If you're all the way down, you can bring your hands either to the heart or up over the head, and just try to think of that leap that Hanuman took to save his master's wife. It's as much of a leap of faith as it is a physical leap. Anything is possible when you're fully devoted, when you're coming from a place of devotion and courage and love. Now from here, break the pose. Shift your left a little bit so you can bring your left foot in, pigeon pose. If you can, the heel is in the same line as your knee. If that's too much for your hip, just move it in closer to your right, in front of your right hip. And then just rock from side to side. Make sure both sides of your hips are equally grounded. You can take the right hand to the foot, left hand moves sides forward. Bring your chest down between your foot and your knee. On your left shin. Express humbleness here, complete surrender. Keep seeing, get the right hip to come down. If it's not feeling the same heaviness as the other side, both sides your hips equally down. Now from here, walk back your hands. Let's bring your left foot right in close front of the hip. If it's not ready, the thigh in line with your hip, your knee in line with your hip. You can bring your hands to the seat, push into your seat. Use your hands to shape your body so that you have no imagine trying to remove all the wrinkles in your skin underneath your hands. Allow the head to go back. If you're more flexible, you can bring your right hand to the knee, push into the back of the knee, guide the foot up towards the head. Bring your head back. Those you can even take your hand up to the foot. Pigeon. Rajakapotasana. Another variation. Bring the foot up. Lean towards the foot. Try to get your foot in the crook of the arm. Your fingers close to the ear. You can interlace, lock your fingers together. Turn your wrists away. Lift your arm. And see if you can get your arm to the other side of the head. Push your foot back away from your shoulder. Like a swan variation. This is preparation to doing it from Kapiyasana as well. Break the pose. Bring the right foot back down if it's up. Now here, press into your fingers and bring your left knee back up. Come into an upright position. Bend the toes under the back knee. Left foot underneath the knee should be able to lift the foot easily. Parivrita Palskonasana, right arm up. Angle the toe and the knee towards the right. And bring the arm down to the left. The armpit on the outside of the knee if you can. Go down as low as possible so your elbows in the space underneath your left thigh. Your left hand pushes into your right until the center of the chest can come behind your thumb. So your belly is coming up at the same time as your hands are pushing down. Send the chest behind your thumbs. Roll the left shoulder all the way back. If this is too much, stay upright. Just take your hand on your outside of the right hand, outside left knee, other hand on the seat, and look over your left shoulder. If you have a bind, go ahead. Bend the fingers in towards your wrist. Turn way towards the left. Use your left hand to guide your hand underneath. And then the left arm goes over your back. Join your hand underneath your thigh. If you can, take your back knee up off the ground. Push through the heel, push through the base of the toes of the right foot. From here, break the pose. Come all the way back. Facing between your legs and come all the way back up. Go to the other side now. Right foot forward, Virabhadrasana. Look over the front hand. Be steadfast in your practice, just like the warrior is steadfast in their duty to protect. Palsvakonasana. Maybe with the arm on the thigh, left arm over the head, take the shoulder back, turn the face and chest up. If your hip is low enough, the hand on the ground. Keep reaching through the hand. If you want to take a bind or half bind, go ahead. Left hand behind your back. On your thigh, roll the left shoulder back. Or the full bind. Alternatively, bring the left knee down underneath your hip so your legs still stay like a box. Push the left shoulder back. Bend the toes under on the back foot. Then eventually here, you might be able to lean into the front leg, lift the back knee, and flatten out your left foot. Come into the full pose. So always look for a place for advancement. Always go to the edge of your potential. Make some effort. Now release. Bring your left knee down. Look forward. Kapiyasana. Bring your chest up and the arms back. Try to get your arms behind, your hands behind your head. Lift the chest. Drop your shoulders down so the head can go back further. Break the pose now. Bring your hands to the inside of the right foot. Move the right foot out to the edge of the mat. This is so that you can keep your shin vertical. And then push back and forth a few times. Push as far back as possible through the left heel before you lower your left knee down. Flatten out the toes and see if you can fall on your left forearm if your hips are low enough. You can do this. Roll back to the right and keep on telescoping your head and chest forward. The more you lengthen, the more the body will come down closer to the ground. Again, if your hips are tight, just push into your hands and try to get your hips to sink. Imagine there's a big weight sitting on top of your seat. Sometimes you have to use your imagination to achieve the effect. If you want, rest your belly and your chest on the ground if your hips are flat on the ground. Right arm goes over your foot. Right shoulder on the right foot. Your right arm goes underneath your knee from the outside and over your back if you want to take your bind. Every chance you get, bring the mind into stillness, try to merge with the form. Now break the pose, come back onto your hands, push your hips back in line with you, so not all the way back, just over your knee. The left foot can move to the right a little bit, pull the toes up away from the ground on the right foot, take hold of the foot, rest if you can rest your right cheek on the inside of the right shin. Lengthen from the base of the spine all the way to the crown. Imagine the head's about to touch the foot at any moment. You can stay here. If you need to, you can also bend your knee, so keep your belly with your thigh. Or Hanumanasana, pull your toes back in line with your left knee and the left foot. And then start to slide on your right foot. Maybe off the mat's easier, it'll slide a little bit more easily. Keep your hands beside your hips so that you stay upright. Eventually you can go all the way down. And again, go into your variations if you know any. Adherence to ethical rules cultivates enthusiasm because you see the results. The fruits of the practice are always positive when you're coming from a place of love to yourself, to others, and then you feel motivated to stay in adherence to yama and niyama. Now from here, moving into pigeon. So wherever you are, you might need to slide your foot back and then heel toe the foot out towards the left. Try to get your knees roughly in the same line as your right hip. Move back and forth, not back and forth, side to side a few times. Try to get the left side to come down as much as the right side. Hold on to your right foot with your left hand and slide your right hand forward. Maybe eventually your chest will come right down onto your leg and both arms can come forward. Now we're going to come back, move the foot in towards the left hip, come up into your upright pigeon, push your hands into your seat, fingers up near the mid-back, and again try to smooth out all the wrinkles underneath your hands. Do any variations you know here, push the shoulders back, allow the head to go back over your seat. Or you can see if you can take your left foot up. You have to have your knee a little bit offset of the right knee, so the knee is coming a little bit to the left, a little bit towards the edge of the mat. So you can take the foot up, lean towards the foot, try to get your foot right in the crook of the arm, your fingers close to your ear, so then you can find your right hand can find the left hand more easily, and then turn your wrists away, your palms away from you, push the foot away from the shoulder, look up and forward. If you want to take your other position with the thumb in the back of the knee, push the foot up, try to guide your foot to the head. And eventually you might be able to move your hands onto the foot, find your tricks to come into the poses. With constant practice, they will come. Make sure the right side of the seat down. If it's lifted, then place a block underneath your right seat. If otherwise, you'll have trouble balancing. Break the pose. From here, lean to the right a little bit, push your seat back and bring the right foot back, right knee back up. Parivrita Parsvanasana. Bend the toes under the back foot, your hip over the back knee, shoulders in line with your hip and a knee. Right foot should be able to come up. And then left arm up. Go to the right, either in the basic twist or with your elbow on the outside, or your arm on the outside, your armpit on the outside of the knee, right hand pushing to your left. If you see your hands are in front of your shoulders, keep pushing down. Keep raising your body up, keep pushing the back of the arm against the outside of the right leg. Center of the chest will eventually move behind your thumbs. Turn the right shoulder back turn to the right. If you can, lift the back knee up the ground. If you want to take a bind, go ahead. Sometimes it's easier with your knee up off the ground because you have more space for the arm to go underneath. Join your hands together, try different things. Experiment. Push through the roots of your toes. Turn the face and chest all the way up. Pull on your hands if you have the bind. Break the pose, bring the hands back down. Let's come into plank. Vasisthasana. Move your left hand a little bit to the right and in front of the nose. If your hips are sagging, you're sinking into your shoulder, bring your left knee down underneath your left hip, like so. Come back to high plank. Go to the other side. Right hand comes in front of your nose, your hand's a little bit in front of the shoulder. Use that a little bit of distance to reinforce the right arm. Can keep your right arm straight. Come back to plank, lower the knees down. Sit either on your heels or between your heels and go into Supta Virasana if you can. If you're between your heels, you can move down, back, so you can get your elbows down, so you can get your back on the ground. Take hold of your opposite elbows. If your knees are not conducive to that, just sit on your feet and just bring your hands back as far as you can. Wherever you are is perfect. If you're trying your best, stretch your knees all the way to the shoulders. If you're on your back, try to bring your thighs together. Your seat is right between your feet. Take hold of your opposite elbows. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, feel the whole body sinking down. So the belly button we're falling right through the body into the earth. Now come back up. Press into your feet if you're on the ground. Push into your elbows. Peel the shoulders off the mat. And then sit up. Bring your hands where your elbows were. So here we'll do another round of Vasisthasana. If you have a variation this time, go ahead. If you did on your knee, you go to your right first. Your right leg extends. Maybe you can lift your leg up. Perhaps you can even take hold of the foot. Pull the foot back. If you're doing it for the full pose, see if you can slide your right toes back. Turn on the left foot at the same time. Slide it in a little bit. Make sure the inside edge of the left foot is grounded. Push your hip all the way up. Left arm again, fully extended. Make sure you're not dropping into your shoulder. See if you can take the right foot up off the ground. If you have weight on your left hand, your left foot, you'll be able to take your right foot up off more easily. Your hip is high. Take hold of the knee. If you have more flexibility, slide your hand up to the foot. Lock the left leg in place. Alternatively, you can spin on your hand, spin on the foot. If your shoulders allow for it, come right into Urdhva Dhanurasana. So go ahead, go into the pose on your left hand first. And then get ready to come back. Come back the same way as you entered. Make sure you don't drop into your shoulder, your hips stay high. Come back into plank. Sometimes it's easier to just do it from downward facing dog. Right hand again comes to the left a little bit. Turn to your left and continue to spin. Pivot on your right foot. Slide your left toes back. Your hip is already high. Push your hip all the way up. Your hip has to be all the way up so you'll be able to take your weight up off your left foot more easily. Inside edge of the right foot is down. Toes in the same line as the rest of your leg. If it's turned too much, you'll fall out of the pose as well. Take hold of the left knee, maybe even the foot. Or Urdhva Dhanurasana, keep spinning on the foot, spin on the heel of the right hand. Eventually your left hand comes in line with your right hand. Same with your feet come in line with one another. Urdhva Dhanurasana. Be respectful of your limitations. Be careful of your joints. And now come back. You have to turn the fingers of the right hand towards the center of the mat and then spin back into downward facing dog. From here, lower your knees down. Forehead comes down and relax. Breathe in. Breathe out, let go of all fatigue. Now from here, inversions. If you're really not comfortable with your feet leaving the ground, you can just do hair pose. Your forehead comes in front of your knees and you just lift your seat. Try to get on the top of the head, or if your hips are over your knees, you might be able to come more on the back of the head. But if it's too much pressure or too much, if it's painful in the back of the neck, just bring your head forward a little bit. If you know how to get a handstand, of course, go ahead. You don't have to wait for me. Just presenting options. Otherwise, you can bring your hands in line with your knees. Lift your seat. Lift your knees and your seat. Walk your feet right up towards your wrists so your seat is over your shoulders. Try to get just underneath your knees against your elbows. This is where you start. And then keep pressing your knees against your elbows so you can pull your toes away from the ground, even just 1 foot at a time. Eventually, if you keep the pressure between your knees and your elbows, you might be able to get your feet all the way up. Not much can go wrong here. You can just bring your toes down if you're not feeling comfortable. Okay, so just try not to go too forward too much so you don't fall onto your back. Okay, otherwise, if you want to go to the wall, those of you who are in the headstand, keep your attention at the space in your eyebrows. You can do variations if you like. On one arm, you can do a lotus. Just watch the body moving gracefully. If you want to do it against the wall or a chair, bring your feet on the legs of the chair or the base of the wall. Your seat on your heels, your elbows right underneath your shoulders, so you're close to the wall. Then don't move your elbows, move your hands forward, interlace your fingers, place your head in front of your hands, lift your seat up, place your foot on the seat of the chair or the back of the chair, the top of the back of the chair, and if your foot is on a wall, your foot should be in line with your hip. So look at the wall, place your heel where the height of the hip is, your other leg goes back behind you. And then eventually you can peel your toes away from the seat of the chair or the back of the chair or the wall. You have to be close to the wall so you're not reaching for the wall. Your legs should be bent. And then you can pull your toes a little bit away from the wall more easily and then put it back on if you need to. Keep your legs very bent. The more compact you are, the easier it is to find a balance. Try for another minute or so. If you have a lotus, go ahead. It makes the mind more one-pointed. Bring your attention to the space in your eyebrows. Leave the body alone. You try to do it on one arm. Keep one arm, forearm on the ground. You have to lean towards the forearm on the ground, push the head against the inside of the wrist, and the hand can come into tripod. Split your legs is a little bit easier. One leg in forward, one leg back. Come into tripod with one hand, and take your fingers off one at a time until you're just on one finger. Lean a little bit towards the side of the left, the forearm on the ground. See if you can take your hand up off the ground every once in a while, even if it's just for a moment. Then you'll be able to take your hand and stay up there. Now come back down slowly and gracefully into child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relax everything. So now we're going to go into shoulder stand. Slide your arms forward and then glide between your arms back into cobra. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Jump or walk your feet to the hands. Come to the front of the mat. Arms out in front. Tuck your shoulders, tuck your seat under. Imagine you're sliding your back down a wall. Lift your heels if you can. Lower your seat very slowly. Control the descent. Try not to move your shoulders forward. If your legs start to shake, be unconcerned. Just be like the wind is. It's the body that's feeling it, not you. Once your seat is right over your heels, you can lower your feet down, your heels down, and when fluid motion, your seat comes up, your legs go up, and bring your hands to your back to catch your back as you go back into plow pose. Baby plow is also, you can keep your feet behind your, depending on your flexibility, your knees can be behind your shoulders, your knees on your shoulders. Keep your hands on the back if your feet don't come down. As you can, try to get your seat higher over your shoulders, shift from side to side, join your hands together, squeeze your palms together, try to get your elbows closer together. Now, you can stay here again or go into Shalvangasana. Bring your hands on your back, come up one leg at a time. Go ahead and do your lotus if you have a lotus. A full lotus, not just a half one. If you're doing a lotus, try to get your knees higher than your hips. Push your knees all the way up as high as you can. Your chest has come right against your chin. Use your hands, if you like, to press into your knees or thighs. Again, go inward, beyond the body, the mind, and emotions, none of which are you. Anytime the mind starts to wander, be unconcerned. Just keep bringing it back to the center of the forebrow, the seat of divine perception. Come back to plow pose. If you have your legs straight, if you lotus, you can do your Pindasana. Your legs comes against your body, wrap your arms around the legs, join your hands underneath your seat if you know that variation. Other options for plow. Bring your thighs against your belly and against your body, your knees on either side of the head. Some of you are flexible can get your knees right down to the ground eventually. Now getting ready to come back out. Hands behind the back. Palms down. Start to slide out. Push into your arms. As you're coming down, keep your legs close to your body as long as possible so you don't come down fast and heavy. Eventually your seat might come onto your wrists. Keep lowering your legs down once your seat's on the hands, but stop halfway at 45 degrees. And then lift your back up off the ground, push your elbows in a little bit closer, move your hands a little bit underneath your seat a little bit better, and then lift the chest, try to get the top head to the ground, fish pose. If it's too much, keep your legs up, just bring your feet down, and breathe very fast in the nose. Keep your head where it is, Urdhva Dhanurasana. Bring your feet on the ground close to your seat, edge of the feet in line with your hips. Take your hands out from underneath and place your hands beside on either side of the head, fingers facing away. Push into your fingertips, lift your seat up. Slide your head back a little bit closer towards your feet and turn your hands around. If this is too much, you can do bridge pose. I'm just cueing Urdhva Dhanurasana for the moment. Now, Push into your hands and lift your head away from the ground. If it's too much, you can do bridge pose. Just lift back the head on the ground and push into your arms. Your hands come underneath your seat and push your chest up towards your chin. Your knees are behind your toes. Your shins should be vertical. So whichever version you are is perfect. Do according to your condition. Lift your heels if you like, if you're in Urdhva Dhanurasana. Or bridge pose if you like. Move your hips a little bit higher, chest closer to the chin if you're doing bridge pose. Then lower your heels back down. Keep your hips high. Urdhva Dhanurasana. Those advanced practitioners, if you want, do whatever you want. See if you can raise your left leg up. If you have good balance, move your hands a little closer. Come on to just the right index finger. Push more weight into your left hand. Eventually you might be able to see if you can take your hand up off the ground. Okay, so to do that you have to get your hand close to the foot, charge the leg, and then take off one finger at a time. See if you can raise the hand up off the ground. Try the other leg, of course. The right leg goes up. Push firmly into your right hand. Come onto fingertips of your left hand and come eventually just on the index finger of the left hand. And see if you can take your hand up off the ground, even just for a moment. Come back down. Rest on your back. Breathe in. Breathe out all fatigue. Good. Now from here, bring your right leg up. Slide your left foot in if you need to, if you have tight hamstrings. Take hold of the right ankle with your hands and pull your knee into your shoulder. See if you can straighten your leg. At some point, you might be able to straighten your left leg again, flat on the ground. You're very flexible. You might be able to move your pull on your foot until it comes right beside your head. Your foot comes to the ground beside you. Come into half happy baby pose. Bring your knee down alongside your body underneath your right arm. You can pull the foot across your chest if you like for an upside down pigeon. Those who are ready can take your leg behind your head. Sometimes it helps to move your left knee right back into your body like a tuck. Your left knee comes against your shoulder, and then you bring your right arm in front of the leg, so your right shoulder, back of the shoulder against the inside of the knee, the back of the knee, and just shift your hips. Pull your right hip up so you can get your knee beside your ear. Push the foot with your left hand behind your head a little bit more. Pull to your left. You might be able to get your leg behind your head eventually. Good. Then you can extend your leg. If you're flexible, take both feet behind your head. Cross your ankles. Push the backs of the arms against your backs, your knees, and bring both feet behind your head. Try to bind your hands underneath your body if you're able to. Yoga Nidrasana. Not important. What's important is to find a place where you're going to the edge of your potential, but you can still keep your mind in relative stillness. Be the observer, the eternal witness. You can stay in your Yoga Nidrasana if you're in the pose, otherwise change sides. Actually, I like to change sides regardless. So you can start with your right foot sliding in if you need to. Take hold of your left ankle and bring the left knee into the shoulder and pull on the leg. Then you can slide the right heel out. You're flexible again. Pull on the foot. Try to get your foot right beside your head, on your knee in the armpit. Okay, if you've got the flexibility, go ahead. And then bring if you want, you can do half happy baby pose. Bring the heel in line with the back of the knee, the shin is vertical. and maybe across the chest for pigeon. All these are preparations to get your leg behind your head. So you can go again as far as you're able to, according to your condition and your flexibility. Now from here you can take your left arm in front of the leg, the back of the arm pushing to the back of the knee. Bring the right knee in towards your shoulder, and then keep lifting your left hip a little bit so your left knee comes close to your ear. Pull the foot back, push your foot back behind your head with your right hand and pull it to your right at the same time. Your shoulders and head come all the way up, your chin into your chest, and then you might be able to get your leg behind your head more easily. Remember, the postures are not the end-all be-all. It's not the point of the practice. Fancy poses mean nothing if they're not done with devotion, if you don't know the meaning, the significance of the poses. To cultivate compassion, to see yourself in all forms, and to experience everything through different perspectives. Now break the pose. Rest for a moment, breathe in. Breathe out, imagine you fainted. Okay, so now sit back up. Next pose. Going to practice either forearm balance or handstand, your choice. Okay, so actually, let's do first a warm up for the back. Bending the back the other way, come into cobra. Come onto your belly, hands underneath your shoulders, feet together, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest, push into your hands, keep coming up higher and higher. Chest forward, push the chest forward away from the seat, take your head all the way back. If you need something softer, you don't have as much flexibility. Take hold of the edge of the mat, the front edge of the mat, anchor down through the legs, the hips, and the tops of the feet. Stay in Sphinx. Eventually you can lift your elbows up off the ground, straighten your arms, and maybe move your hands closer and closer. Shift from one side to the other as you walk your hands closer and closer. Those who are more flexible, try to get your hands right close to your hips. Come onto your fingertips. Push firmly into the fingertips. Get your body up. The whole top of the body from the legs up off the ground. Open up your legs. Push into your fingertips. Get more length and height. And then bring your toes up. Try to get your toes to your head. Imagine you're holding socks behind your knees. Once your feet find your head, you can bring your hands back down. Your heels, the palms back down. Break the pose. Come back down. Forehead on hands. Breathe in. Breathe out. From here, now let's try forearm balance or handstand. You can do this against the wall as well. Same way as we did for the headstands. So if you like, again, place your feet on the base of the wall or the chair, the legs of the chair. Your elbows underneath your shoulders. Take hold of the opposite elbows. Make sure you can hold the arms easily. Then this time your hands come forward. Your elbows a little bit closer in, a little bit not as wide as the shoulders. The middle finger is pointing straight. Lift your seat. Raise one leg up. Maybe your foot's on a chair or the wall. If you can get your foot if you're doing it from the ground, try to get your foot as close to your elbow as possible so you don't have to jump as much. When you jump, you sometimes lose control, you go too far. Okay, keep your feet close to your seat. Look a little bit forward and front towards your thumbs. Push down into forearms like think of a snowplow when you're trying to stop when you're skating. Push with the edges of the arms. Flex your feet to keep your muscles engaged. Eventually, you might be able to bring one foot to the knee. Bring your head forward. You might be able to bring your toes to the head. This is how you work towards scorpion. Keep, again, your legs very bent when you're starting. One leg forward, one leg back is the easiest way to balance. Feet close to the floor like low-hanging fruit. Good. Now from here, rest in child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out all fatigue. Come back up to seated. Bring your legs out in front. Ardha Matsyendrasana. Your left leg can fold in. Your foot is beside your right hip. Make sure you're not sitting on your foot. Your right foot on the outside of the left knee. So you either do this pose. If you can't get both sides of your seat down, you can extend your left leg. And move, in this case, your right foot further forward between your knee and your ankle, toes close to your ankle. Right hand behind the back, left arm up. Turn to your right. Your belly's being squeezed by the thigh, your chest is free. Try to get your chin over the back shoulder. Keep your back straight. So this is not the pose, this is not doing anything. Okay, so keep your body straight up, head in line with your seat. Push against your thigh. If you want, next one, bring your foot back to the inside of the left leg, bring your left foot in, lift your seat a little bit, move your hand in, left arm up, so that you lift your seat, you bring your right hand close to your seat so that you can get your arm a little bit further down, your elbow right close to your hip, your seat. Hands in line from there. You push your right elbow into the side of the body, close right over your hip. Lean forward and come into side crawl. Your legs are resting on your right leg. Maybe your head comes down. If you want, can extend your left leg back, your right foot kicks forward. Kundanyasana. Come back down, go to the other side. This time your right leg folds under or extends, your left foot on the outside of the right knee, right arm up, left arm right, down the center of the back against your seat. Go to your left. You can take a bind if you like. If you know any variations, go ahead. Left arm, right arm can go underneath your right leg. Your left leg, I guess, sorry. And you join your hands behind your back. Keep your back straight. Then if you want to do the crow, move your feet back together, lift your seat a little bit, right arm up, and then dive down to your left. Left hand close to your seat, your elbow pushing right against the body, right over the hip. Fingers in line, and reach forward. Your body, hips and the head level. Allow your legs to rest on your arm. If you have to get your arm, your elbow down close to your seat. Otherwise, if it's too close to your knee, your legs will fall off your elbow. Okay, so move your arm, so that your legs can sit comfortably on your left arm, and then extend your legs. Right leg goes back, left leg up if you want. Or your head comes ground, or you can just keep your legs straight in front like this. Come down. As Dharmaji says, not important. Everything comes eventually. Lie on your back for Shavasana. Feet falling away from one another, the hands beyond the edges of the mat, the palms facing up. Allow the body to rest now. The best coming to you as a result of all of your efforts being directed to a higher purpose, serving others, sharing the benefits with others. Everything is meant to be shared. Eventually, we try to extend us beyond the mat. Everything we do, say, and think, remember that since God is within and God is within all beings, and we're all connected to one another through that divine thread that connects us together. So we be mindful, we learn to be more mindful of our actions, thoughts, and words. We want to ensure they're always coming from a place of love and compassion. And with each life, it gets better and better, and we get better and better. It gets easier and easier. Just do your best. Now we have to carry this intention out into our day-to-day lives as well, and in all our interactions. We try to continue to see the divine in each and every being. Even if they hurt us, even if they do things that aren't in line with the ethical rules towards us, remember we were there too. We're all come into the earth, into this being without much knowledge, but as we gain knowledge, we get more and more experience to avoid those situations and those actions that cause pain and suffering. Just understand that and be compassionate towards other beings and understanding of other beings' situations as well. So now with that in mind, let's come back to seated position to be ready to radiate our love and our light and compassion to all beings. Come back to seated position, sit tall and straight. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be receptive to the grace of God. All is within. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining. I'm sorry I had to change the time this morning. I had another scheduling conflict, but you can always just watch it later on. It still stays on my feed, on my page. Namaste, much love, and I hope to see you soon.